everybody, Joe, Passion Unchained here to help you build a life that you love, and specifically how to build the love life that you crave. There's advice that I hear a lot from guys and especially from girls, and that advice is form a connection. Try to connect with women. Try to form a connection. Try to form an emotional bond. And I hate it. I hate it so much. I think people are going after it the wrong way. Now, that's not to say I don't like emotional connection. I love forming emotional connections. And I like meeting girls I enjoy and that I could really connect with, that I could really be intimate with. My favorite girl, I don't want to say favorite. One of my favorite girls I dated was while I was in Latvia. I talk about her every now and then on a podcast or a YouTube channel. Amazing woman. And she opened me up in a way I didn't think was possible. She reached me in a way that most other women have not. I got to know more about myself. I got to really dive deep and feel things I've never felt before while I was dating her. And to this day, and I think until the day I die, she'll be very special. I'll probably find more special women, more women I enjoy and am intimate with on the same level. But I'm sure every one of you watching know that when you are truly intimate with somebody, especially a romantic partner, it's an experience that you will never repeat in the same way with another person. It might be the same level of enjoyment and intimacy with another person, but it will never be the same. So no, I do not say at all. I am definitely 300% not saying don't be intimate. I think intimacy is freaking amazing. But I will say, don't try to form an emotional connection as a dating strategy. Now, let me explain what I mean, because I did seem to contradict myself there, but I did not. There's no contradiction, and I'm going to explain. Forming an emotional connection is an awesome part of spending time with somebody that you like and that you enjoy. Now, purposefully trying to form an emotional connection, that's what a lot of guys and many girls suggest. And that's because a lot of girls, they prioritize emotional connection over sex, because sex is plentiful for them, but emotional connection with men is not. So, of course, they're going to want to search for the thing that is harder, because that's what they need to put effort into. But for men, it's usually the opposite. Finding women who are down to connect emotionally is easy, but finding women who are sexually open, while it might not be hard, especially if you're attractive, it's harder. So what I said in another video, I'm going to repeat a little bit of that and then go deeper. You want to screen for girls who are sexually available to you. The reason is, if they're sexually available to you, you can form that emotional connection as long as there's some seed there. That's not the hard part. That forms over time, and as long as you're open and you talk about yourself and you spend more time with them, the emotional connection will happen. The sex, on the other hand, may or may not happen. I'm going to go a little bit deeper into this in this video, because let's just go down the road. If I tried to form an emotional connection with women and that was my way of dating, let's imagine that I did that, right? Okay, let's say there's a cute girl at the gym. There originally was a really cute girl at the gym. She has a boyfriend, but she's still cool and down to hang out with her on a platonic basis, because that's totally cool. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as I'm honest with myself. So I'm going to use her as an example. That's actually a perfect example in this case. I'm going to use her as an example because it's just perfect. Imagine that I wasn't clear about what I was looking for. In this case, I said, hey, I started the conversation, and then I don't think it was that day. It was a different day. I was like, hey, let's grab some bubble tea sometime. She's like, yeah, sure, that sounds good. By the way, I have a boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, thanks for letting me know. I wasn't thinking anything specific, but that makes it clear to me that this is a friendship, and that's fine. Because in this case, it is. Now, I won't agree to be friends with every girl because sometimes it's important to me that there's sex involved. But in this case, great. She seems cool. Now, imagine and the reason she said that was because I had some flirty vibes going on. If I didn't have any flirty vibes going on, then she wouldn't feel it necessary to make it clear. But let's say I went after emotional connection first, right? Which means no flirty vibes, no banter, no like sexual like tension forming whatsoever. I'm just trying to form an emotional connection, forgetting about sex, right? Then we exchange numbers, and of course she comes out to bubble tea with me, and I talk about my childhood. I talk about the places I've lived. She talks about whatever she talks about, and she's studying right now for something. If you're watching this, I won't mention names, but hey, what's up, Esther? I hope you like the video. Don't want anything to be identifiable with people I haven't talked to and gotten their permission to be identifiable. So I'm going to keep things vague enough that nobody knows who I'm talking about, unless you're her, of course. I'm sure she'll know who I'm talking about. But anyway, point is, we would be getting closer and we would be forming an emotional connection, but there would be no consummation of it into anything more than a friendship. Obviously, because she has a boyfriend and she, at least from what I've seen, is loyal. At least in this relationship, she's, she wants to be with him and she doesn't want to cheat on him. So that wouldn't happen. And I would be invested in her. And then at one point I might try to make things sexual because nothing's happening, even though I'm supposed to form a connection and not try for sex. I would at some point probably be frustrated enough, or like, I would have waited long enough where I would want sex and I would be going for sex, which is against the advice that I decided to take in this scenario. And of course, friendship, which would have been not necessarily super deep at that point, but it would have been, it might be pretty deep at that point, because if I'm looking for a connection first, I would have formed a connection. So that would have been completely trashed, because now she's like, well, did you really want to form a connection with me, or did you want sex? Like, why weren't you just honest with me? Like, what the fuck? Reaction video. That's a reaction, not video. You know what I mean? A reaction pose, reaction frame for the thumbnail. I had to. But she would be like, what the fuck's going on, Joe? Like, I thought you were my friend. Like, what's going on? And she would be mad. She wouldn't be very happy, and we wouldn't be friends anymore, and I would be frustrated. I'd be kicking myself. I'd be feeling like an asshole. I'd be feeling like a chump. I'd be feeling super humiliated because I wanted sex, but I didn't get it. Am I wrong? Am I a bad person? And it turns out that I just didn't check if she was available. I just tried to go through an emotional connection. Now, this is a hypothetical situation, but there are several times that this has happened in my life, and I really wish I did more planning and thinking before I went into this episode, because I would have gone with one of the situations that actually happened. In fact, maybe I will in another episode. I'm trying to keep these episodes under 10 minutes from a suggestion from my friend. So I have a minute left. I'm going to wrap this up. But the point is, do not go for emotional connection. Emotional connection naturally comes when you spend time with a person and open up to them. And that's something you don't have to push for. Screen to see if the girl's sexually available, if you're attracted to her, if that's what you're looking for, which it is if you're dating, if you're on this website, if you're on this YouTube channel, you're looking to have sex, make sure she's sexually available to you, and if she is, make it happen. Ask her on a date. Ask her to your apartment. Make it happen. And if at some point you find out she's not sexually available, then you can make the decision if you want to be friends platonically or not, because if you find that's what she's available to you as, you can make that decision there. I offer one-on-one coaching, 12 weeks, a meeting with me every week. I'm available over email, and I give you homework every single week, get you from where you're at to where you want to go, like that. Hit me up there's a link in the description below for that. I also offer photo shoots for all of my coaching clients included, or if you just want the photo shoot, that's also a possibility. come here to Austin or pay my travel expenses to fly out. And I have, if you click on the link in the description below, there are some examples of photo shoots I've done in the past and some testimonials from clients who've gotten some awesome results. So I'm excited to help you with your dating life. And if you just want to subscribe to this YouTube channel and get my free content, no worries. Go ahead and do that with the subscribe button below. Until next time, folks, get laid.